So this is the necklace that I'm making today. I have the other end, it has the ribbon loop on the end. So the charms that I set aside to dry, I did do one charm with 2 wires because one end is going to attach to the ribbon and the other end is going to become our hook. So to feed, we're going to feed both of these pieces of wire through our ribbon, and to do that more easily, we're going to need to bend the edge. Otherwise, you don't have to, but I like to do it because it's going to make it so that the wire doesn't snag as I push it through the ribbons. So you don't have, again, you don't have to, but I highly recommend it because it's a lot easier. So now that our wire, one end of our clasp is through the ribbon, all we're going to do is just loop it around the ribbon, wrap it back on itself. You can be as messy or as neat as you want with this stage. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. You can leave, the more length you leave here, it means that your necklace is going to be longer, so try not to make it too long unless you did want a longer necklace. So just wrap it around as much as you want, and because you already tucked those ends in, you could just tuck them back on themselves, or you can go ahead and trim them, whatever you want. In the interest of time, I'm just gonna let it be as it is. So then we have this other side of our wire, and a really easy way to make a hook, which we have on this finished piece, is just twist it around a couple times on itself. It makes those 2 wires sort of become one. And then this is like the easiest way on the face of the planet, in my opinion, to make a hook. All you do is bend it over the end of your thumb, then bend it back over your finger, and cut right after that last bend. Now I do have to say something about wire cutting safety. This is a really simple trick if you're not wearing safety glasses, as it states to do on your wire cutters. Use safety glasses, and I'm not. So when you go to cut, the loose end of whatever you're cutting should always be facing on the top of your cutter and facing down towards the ground, so that when they go flying off, they don't go flying up into your eye. They just go down to the ground. Then just pinch that and make it a little bit flatter, and voila, you have your hook. Your hand wrought hook. Super simple, didn't even need pliers. So the next stage of this, we have to get all of these lovely charms that we've made using the Patera findings and using the Art Chicks collage paper. You have a finished length of ribbon, and all you need to do is take the charms that you've made and wrap them onto the ribbon. And you can space them out evenly, you can space them all near each other, it can be uneven, it doesn't matter, it's all up to you. I've chosen to have them more hang towards the front, like in my sample that I've already made. Just because I like to wear collared shirts a lot, so I don't have a lot of viewing space for necklaces. I just have a little bit of space open in between where my shirt is open. So I've had these, I put these about 1 inch apart. Let me show you how to wrap one of these onto the ribbon. I'll just do the last one. So this is also totally up to you. This is just how I did it. I take the wire that I fed through one of the loops of the Patera finding that I made a charm with, and the first step I'm going to do is cross it once so that the piece of wire is now making, you know, those TV antenna ears back and forth. Then I'm going to put my finger down in the middle and bend the wire back and bend the wire back. I'm just doing that so that the ribbon has a place to sit while I start to wrap the wire around the ribbon. So I feed the ribbon into that little carrying spot. And again, this is not an exact science. The purpose of this charm, the way I'm doing this, is it can be malleable. So once it's wrapped, you can kind of twist it around a little bit more if you want. So I'm going to eyeball it and just make it about the same amount of distance, maybe almost an inch away from the pendant before it, the charm before it, I mean. And I'm going to pinch all the ribbon down, and I'm going to press the wire back on itself so that it starts to wind itself around the ribbon. And once you've done that, it's easy to just take one strand at a time and wrap, wrap, wrap. The wrapping, it all depends on how much wire you cut originally. So if you like the way the lots of wrapped wire looks, then when you make your charms the night before, you have to cut a really long piece of wire. And again, you can always trim later and then save that scrap for the next necklace you make if it's too long. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap away. And this also, I like to do it messy. You might like to do it neatly. That's totally up to you. And then the end, you can take it with pliers and fold it under, or just fold it under by hand, or you can trim the end off using the technique that I just reminded you of, which is have the end of the wire sticking through the front and face down. And as you probably couldn't see, but the piece went that way and didn't go up into my eyeball. So now we have to wrap the other end of the wire around on the other side of the charm. Wrap, 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 wrap away. And tuck the end under. Now, if you don't wrap very tightly, your piece of wire will be adjustable, and you might like that. So now you have a lovely charmed ribbon necklace. This was super easy to make. You can make a necklace, a bracelet, anklet, gifts for your friends, bookmarks, wine charms, keychains. The possibilities are endless. Most of the products that I use today are available at the shop at Somerset at stampington.com. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have fun making this lovely necklace.